everyone, and welcome to another edition of Around New Britain with Mayor Stewart, a show that updates you on the issues facing the city of New Britain. A big thank you goes out to Nutmeg TV for the assistance in providing the public with these shows, and to my producer, Josie, who's standing behind the camera right now. I made a commitment to the residents when I was elected in 2013 to make government more transparent and accessible to the people that we serve. This show is just another step in opening government up to all of you. My office is always open to all of you, especially those that are seeking solutions to the problems that face them daily. We may not be able to solve every problem for you, but we can certainly point you in the right direction to get answers to the questions that you may have. We do this by email, by phone, through Twitter, Facebook, the city website, or even in person once a month through my monthly open office hours. The open office hours for the month of June will be held on June 17th at 6 p.m. right here in the mayor's office. I'll meet with everyone who attends, and sign up is first come, first served. Periodically throughout the show, you can see my handles at the bottom of your screen on how to get in contact with me personally or with my office. This show also aims to highlight the many programs and people that have a significant impact on our New Britain community, from former mayors to department heads to community organizations that are looking to change our community in a positive way. I'm looking to provide you with the information that is relevant to your everyday life as a taxpayer of a community that is truly making a comeback. So I'm going to get started with our first segment, which is titled What's Happening in City Hall, and give you all an update on the meetings that are happening throughout the month of June. So our next council meetings are going to be held on Wednesday, June 10th and Wednesday, June 24th. There's also going to be a special budget meeting for the City Council to adopt the city's budget for the fiscal year of 2015-2016. These meetings are held in the council chambers at City Hall, located on the second floor. Public participation starts at 7 p.m. They'll listen to everyone who wants to come out and speak their mind to the council. The official council meeting will start shortly after that, and you can view that live on Nutmeg TV. My June monthly open office hours, as I just mentioned, will take place on a Wednesday this month. Usually they're on Mondays, but this month they're going to be on Wednesdays. So that's Wednesday, June 17th, starting at 6 p.m. here in the mayor's office. It's in room 201. You'll be asked to sign in when you get here, and then just wait your turn for your appointment with me. The commission meetings. Board of Education is going to have a regular meeting on June 15th and special meetings on June 16th and June 17th to discuss and adopt a budget. The public comment period begins at 6:30 p.m. and that's in the central office building downtown. The Parks and Recreation Commission will meet on June 11th at 6 p.m. in room 305. The Historic Preservation Commission will meet on June 15th at 6:30 p.m. in room 313. The New Britain Commission on Animal Welfare, which we'll be learning a lot about today, meets on June 16th at 6 p.m. in room 305. And the Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities will meet on the same night, June 16th at 6 p.m. in room 201. I do want to give you a Public Works update, as always. Work has started on the Phase 3 streetscape project, which includes renovations to the Central Park area in downtown and streetscape improvements to Main Street, West Main Street, and a section of Chestnut Street as well. So I just want to thank you all for your patience during the construction process. This will be going on until the fall of 2016. Construction on Broad Street is taking place between Horace and Burritt Street. Poplawski Park will also be rebuilt and enlarged. If you haven't seen some activity going on up there, you should take a drive by and check it out. You may have noticed some of the big pine trees, which were unhealthy and diseased, did come down. I promise you we will be replacing them with nice new healthy trees when the construction is completed. And the first phase of Allen Street, I know, round of applause for all of that, will begin on June 1st. We're doing a full depth reconstruction of that street, which is enough to provide over 25 years of service of life. So hopefully we won't have to touch it for another 20 some odd years, but that's the extent of the construction that we're doing on Allen Street. It's going from Allen Street up to from Farmington Avenue down to Oak Street. That includes everything underneath the road. So sewer is included in that. The rest of Allen Street, we will not forget about you. That will get a fresh coat of pavement, and all of those potholes will be filled. So thank you for your patience while Public Works does our due diligence to get our roads safe for everyone. So this month's show is about animals, both in celebrating our furry friends and, of course, ensuring their well-being. So leading the charge are two women, which I am very proud of. Paula Poplawski, who is the chairwoman of the New Britain Commission on Animal Welfare, and Sergeant Paula Keller from the Animal Control with our New Britain Police Department. So I want to welcome you guys to the show today to talk all about how we care for our animals here in the city. Thank you.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
It's very great to see you guys. I'm glad we got Paula, Chairman Poplawski on camera. But we're glad to have them here to talk a lot about what the city does. I don't think many of you watching at home may know what the Pound does, what type of activities that we have going on in the city for our furry friends. So I'm just going to start with a basic question to Sergeant Keller. And how many animals do you think that we take care of in the Pound?
Well, I can tell you, here in the city of New Britain, we're taking in about 250 dogs a year. We don't take in cats at our facility. We don't have the means to take care of cats. So right now we're just dealing with dogs, and we take in about 250 dogs a year, which it's not a great number, but I mean it's not as high as some of the other urban areas such as Hartford, New Haven, and Bridgeport.
And where do we take them?
We take them down to our facility on Christian Lane. They're picked up all over the city. Some people are dumping them off in our parks. They're getting tied to telephone poles. It is a huge problem. We're not quite certain what's going on or why this is happening. We kind of have a clue, and you know, a lot of it has to do with people not really fully understanding what it takes to own a pet, and maybe they're taking these animals into their house, not understanding how much work is involved with
it's
taking
like
in an animal.
Having a child.
It
really
is. It is. They're not potty trained. They chew things. They have to be watched. So,
yeah.
you know, and we get the phone calls for the stray and roaming dogs, and what we do is we go out and we pick them up and we bring them down to our facility, which is at 642 Christian Lane in Berlin. We have 19 kennels where we house the dogs. There's indoor and outdoor runs on the kennels. They're fairly large. We have staff going down there every day, feeding and cleaning, taking care of them.
Taking care of them even on the weekends too. They're
Every
not forgotten
weekend,
about.
no, every weekend. And we have open adoptions Wednesdays from 3 to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. where people can come down and view the dogs, interact with them, the adoptable dogs.
Now, do you also put them on Pet Finder, on any types of
we do.
websites? Okay.
We actually run our own Facebook page. It's called New Britain Police for Pups. It's our Facebook page, and we do put them on Pet Finder, and that's where we get a lot of our adopters from.
And sometimes they're beautiful dogs, too. I think we just had 2 German Shepherds.
Yes, we did. We did.
So sad.
Dumped off in the park. I don't know why anybody would do that to any dog, but particularly a breed like this where we're inundated with phone calls. People actually want these dogs.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a big problem. Pet abandonment is a huge problem.
Right.
And some of the things that we're trying to do is educate the public about, like I was talking about, exactly what it entails to own a pet. You have to be able to have the time for it. You have to be able to have the finances. You know, there's state laws that regulate, you know, the rabies vaccine, so you do have to have your dog to the vet. There's a state licensing law, so you have to have the dog licensed with your city or town clerk. So there's a lot of things involved, not to mention feeding the dog and spending time with it, training it so that you have a dog that you can take out in public.
You know, I like the point that you made about licensing a dog. I don't think a lot of people necessarily know that it's the law to do that.
You're correct.
I know that last year in our town clerk's office, our town clerk, Mark Bernanke, has been trying so hard to get more people to license their pets. And it's a good thing to license your pets because let's just say in the case something happened that they did get lost, it makes it easier for us to find them, but there's other benefits to licensing your dogs as well. I mean, I'll let you talk about this.
You know, it's proof of ownership. I mean, if the dog is licensed to you and we find it wandering, it's proof of ownership. It says that you own that dog, and it's going to prevent somebody else from coming and trying to take that dog.
Right.
It also, I mean, if we find a dog wandering around and it has a license on it, it's not going to see our facility. We're going to bring it home because I can look that up online. We have it online, and I could just quickly punch in that license number, and I can bring that dog right back to the owner.
That's great.
So there are benefits to it.
It's cheap. It's not like it's expensive.
No, it's $8 if your dog is spayed or neutered, and it's $19 if your dog is not spayed or neutered. So it's a very inexpensive way to secure your pet.
That's great. So if you're out there and you have a dog that may or may not be licensed, I would encourage you to contact our town clerk's office to do so. Just in the case that anything did happen, which all of you fantastic pet owners out there that take care of your pets would never let happen.
Yeah.
Right? But unfortunately, there are people out there that don't take care of their pets. And this is where, Sergeant Keller and Chairwoman Poplawski come in to make sure that we are teaching and educating the public on good ways to be good pet owners and making sure that we're putting as much information out there as possible. Chairwoman, you are fairly new to the Animal Welfare Commission, serving this your first year as chairwoman, and we've made a lot of great changes on the commission too, wouldn't you say?
Thank you. Yes, I'm extremely pleased with how far we've come.
Yeah.
There's still a lot on our plate, a lot of things that we want to do.
Yeah.
One of them, Sergeant Keller and I were just talking about, is to create a reference book, a manual or something that says, okay, if you have a feral cat, if you have an injured dog, who do you call? How do you get it done?
Right.
So that's our next task. Currently, we're working on a feral cat initiative.
Because currently the city doesn't have anything for feral cats, right?
Right.
So if you want to talk about that a little bit.
We are partnering with Bikers Against Animal Cruelty, who has given us a generous amount of money to start a trap, neuter, and release program.
Great.
So I'm excited about this. This is
good.
totally new venture for me, so I'm learning as we go. But I've surrounded myself with a lot of people that have a lot more knowledge, so it seems to be
Important.
working very well. Feral cats, we estimate that there are probably 1,000 in New Britain.
Yeah.
If we were to go back 2 years from, or go forward 2 years from now, we'd find that those numbers are increasing. Because
Well,
they
you find them
reproduce.
everywhere, and they do, and
They
you know,
reproduce
and
very
it's human
quickly.
nature when you see a cat roaming around in your backyard, you want to leave food out for it. You
Right.
know, I know that my aunt does this. Hopefully, she's not watching because she's going to yell at me. But I know she's got, she had one that was in her backyard, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, there's a cat! I got to go give it food." And next thing you know, there's 8 of them. But what she did was she bought the birth control, so now she puts
Oh,
the
wow.
kitty birth control in the food as she
Oh, well,
feeds
that's
them.
smart.
Yeah.
The other thing people have to consider when they're ground feeding these stray animals is you're going to get other animals, skunks, raccoons, possums coming into your yard, so you do have to be careful of that.
Yeah, and we would like to also encourage people to not go and, just kind of blindly blanket throw food out in certain areas because you are going to get possums and rodents and raccoons, and it's causing problems for other business owners or homeowners in the neighborhoods too. So we'd like to encourage, there's nothing wrong with feeding them. Just make sure you put it in a bowl and leave it out for them somewhere.
There are
nicely.
feeding stations, and I would recommend, there are caregivers that do this.
Yeah.
I think there's a woman in New Britain that feeds probably 400 cats 7 days a week, twice
Wow.
a day. It's her life, it's her passion. She
great.
has feeding stations. All her cats, as I understand, have been trapped, neutered, and released.
released.
You can tell that by the ear tip. They cut off a portion of their ear, so by looking at a feral, you can tell that it has been neutered or spayed. And they
I
monitor.
would not know that. See
They
that?
monitor the colonies so that any new cats coming in will be trapped, neutered, and returned.
Wow.
So it's an ongoing thing. It's nothing that just stops once you do it once.
See? You
To
learn
make
something
it
new every day.
successful, you need to have people that act as caregivers.
Right, correct. Oh, and you also have to have people that take care of the animals that they have too. And we want to encourage everybody out there that is a city resident, not necessarily a city resident, but just an animal owner, to take proper care of their animals and don't let it get to a point where we have to, feed feral cats or we have to
Right.
pick dogs up on the street. But we do a fantastic job here in the city with taking care of the animals that don't have homes to go to. I wish we had this big, beautiful facility that we could bring them all to, but
Our facility's not bad. We take good care of it. The dogs are
Yeah.
very well cared for. We get a lot of
Yeah.
donations. They get taken out. We get the playpens donated to us.
That's
so
right. Yeah.
They get taken out. They get exercised. We try
Yeah.
to socialize them as much as possible.
now do you allow volunteers to go down to the pound or?
Right now, we don't have a a volunteer program, we have our community service officers that come down.
Okay.
And they do work, with the police department on a volunteer basis, and because they're already affiliated with the police department, they're allowed to go into the facility even when there's not an officer there. So, they do go down there. I have 2 of them that work every weekend with us.
That's great.
So they do volunteer work. We are very interested in setting up a volunteer program. We just haven't really thought about, how the structure is going to go yet. And
It's true, and you don't have to worry about insurance.
yeah,
coverage
there's
and
a lot of
everything. If somebody
liability.
got bit-
There is liability. So that is a concern for us. So we're
Yeah.
working around it, though. It's not
That's great.
something that's out of the question.
That's
So,
great. Hopefully someday we'll be able to get there. But in the meantime, we're also planning a lot of other events that are going around the city to educate people, to do fun events for our pets. We have Pets-a-Palooza coming
yeah.
up, the first
Very
of its
excited
kind.
about
So
that.
if you guys want
Yes.
to tell everybody a little bit about Pets-a-Palooza.
Okay, well, it's from what I understand, it's a big event with they're having all kinds of pet structures there. Aren't they doing the Guinness Book of World Record?
We
for
are. We're
food
going
donations?
to hear a little bit from Bill DeMayo later on in the show, who's going to tell us a little bit more about it. But it's just been a really great, a great partnership that we've been able to form too. And I think this is going to be the first event of its kind in the city.
It is. It's the
Great.
very first, and we're looking for a lot of people to come, a lot of people to participate, and it looks like we're going to get there. So
That's
And
great.
we're actually hoping to have some of our adoptable dogs down there too as
Oh,
well.
that
so,
would be wonderful.
yeah.
That would be great. When is it again?
July 15th.
July 15th.
July
right.
15th. Okay, so we'll talk about this next show too, right? We'll just keep talking about it until it does happen. We get everybody up at Walnut Hill Park that day. I know that donations have been coming in. I've been seeing the emails with folks that want to donate towards the event. That's
Right.
been really, really promising.
And I think Bill can talk to that a little bit later. He's
Yeah.
been able to secure a significant sponsorship.
That
and
makes
it's
everything
been
possible.
wonderful.
It does, it does. And we also have a rabies clinic that's coming
Yes,
up.
we do. It's going to be June 7th. It's going to be in the parking lot of our police department.
Okay.
The police department is on the corner of Chestnut and Main Street, and the entrance to the parking lot is actually off of Main Street. So it's right behind our building, which is 10 Chestnut Street.
Gotcha.
We're actually using our mobile command post
Okay.
as the place where the veterinarian's going to actually do the vaccines.
Great.
We're going to have volunteers. I know Paula volunteered last year with us, and I'm hoping to secure her again. There's a lot that goes into setting this up.
But you can't say no now.
Yeah, no. You're on TV now. So,
Say no.
but there's a lot to it. We do need volunteers. I was able to get a lot of volunteers last year. There's paperwork that needs to be filled out. Money needs to be collected. We have to have water for the animals. Make sure
Right.
everybody has a leash. If there's a dog that doesn't get along with other dogs, we kind of try to separate that one and bring them in separately. So it's a big collaboration. But again, it's June 7th, and we're also going to have the parvo vaccine available as we did last year.
That's great.
Yeah.
And if I understand, the parvo vaccine will also be available at Pets-a-Palooza too.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's from what I was told.
And licensing at both.
And licensing at
so
both
There's no
locations.
excuse now for the residents of the city not to have their animals
Correct.
licensed, not to have their dogs licensed.
I want to thank the both of you for all the work that you do on behalf of our furry friends. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you.
You've been
It's-
incredible to turn something that once, was a very negative thing in the city and make something completely positive out of it, and showing the efforts that the city is taking to really take care of our friends. And it's because of the leadership the two of you have shown. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would like to compliment my partner in crime here, as I refer to her. She has done an amazing job,
Oh, well, thank you.
an amazing job. She has surrounded herself with people that are as dedicated as she is, that love animals as much, and the proof is in the pudding when you walk into that pound. You
That's
can
great.
see that the animals are extremely happy.
That's great.
So-
And that's what we want. And that's what we
Yeah.
want.
Exactly what we
And
want.
hopefully we'll have some of them on display for Pets-a-Palooza
Yes.
for everyone to come out
Definitely.
and hopefully adopt some of our furry friends. And on that note, I want to send it over to Bill DeMayo, who is the director of our Community and Recreation Services, who's going to talk to you for just a few minutes about Pets-a-Palooza. Hey, Bill.
Thanks, Mayor. Well, I want to invite everyone that's watching today to come to the Pets-a-Palooza. It's our first time doing this program with Parks and Recreation and the Animal Welfare Commission, and it's going to be exciting. Everybody can bring their animals to Walnut Hill Park on Wednesday, July 15th from 5 to 10 p.m. And this is going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. Anything to do with animals, it's going to be there. We have a concert going on from 7 to 9, and it's Tire Biter at the Darius Miller Band Shell. But before that, we're going to have a walk that will raise money for the Animal Welfare Commission. So people can walk with their animals, their dogs, or they can stroll their cats for that matter, and they can get $10 sponsors, walk the 1 mile loop at about 5:30 p.m., and all the money will go to the Animal Welfare Commission, which is going to be exciting. So that way they can help with the feral cat issues and dog pound issues and anything to do with animals that they can help their welfare. We have a whole bunch of activities going on. We got from Westport, we're bringing in a Frisbee dog catching demonstration, and they've got 5 dogs coming and they throw Frisbees far in the distance, and the dogs jump up in the air, catch them, and bring them back. That's going to be really neat. We've got the Paula Keller is going to be there, as the mayor was talking about, from the dog pound and bringing some rescues. Fidelco is going to be there with their puppy raisers and some puppies, and people are going to be able to find out a little bit about puppy raising and get to pet the animals. We're going to have all kinds of booths. We're going to have all kinds of grooming programs, such as the dogs can get their nails clipped. There's going to be washing and grooming stations for the dogs and cats, and that's going to be exciting. We also have Mark Bernacki has volunteered from the town clerk's office, and we're going to try to get Wi-Fi, and he's going to license dogs right there in the park live, right on the City Hall computer system, so that's going to be a nice addition too. And we're going to have all kinds of food, clowns, magicians, inflatables for kids, all kinds of activities going on. So it's just going to be one great fun day with animals. We also have all pools of water set up, so when it's warm, the dogs can either jump in the water and cool off, or they can drink from it. And we're going to have a variety of entertainment. The real neat thing, a feature of it, is we're going to try to set the Guinness World Records, and we need all your help out there. So bring donated cat food as much as you can in bags or cans, and we're going to try to set the world's record for the most amount of cat food donated and piled in a park at Walnut Hill Park. So we were going to win that contest for sure, and we're going to register it with Guinness World Records. So bring your cat food, and all that money, all that cat food will be donated to the animal feral cat situation, and we'll be able to feed some cats that need food. So that's pretty much the extent. It's July 15th, 5 o'clock to 9 p.m., Walnut Hill Park. You can call the Parks and Recreation Department and register to walk the 1 mile loop, and there's all kinds of fun you're not going to want to miss. It's Petsapalooza, July 15th, Wednesday, 5 to 9 p.m. at Walnut Hill Park. So back to you, Mayor.
Thank you, Bill. Before we close the show for the day, there's a few events going on in the month of June that I'd like to share with all of you. First off, with the warm temperatures finally here, the splash pads at Chesley and Willow Parks are going to be open from 10 a.m. through 8 p.m. Go Ape, if you haven't heard of it, the High Ropes Adventure Course is now open at A.W. Stanley Park. You can visit goape.com for more information. The Connecticut Main Street Gala Awards Dinner is going to take place right here in New Britain this year with over 200 visitors that will be gathering at Trinity on Main. Beginning at 4:30 p.m., there's going to be a number of walking tours that residents can participate in. This is on June 8th. E.C. Goodwin Technical High School is holding its graduation on June 19th at 6 p.m. at CCSU. Yours truly will be the keynote speaker for the address. Congratulations to all the EC graduates, and especially to my cousin Eric LeBlond. The 23rd Annual Klingberg Vintage Motor Car Festival takes place on Saturday, June 20th from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Klingberg's facility up on Linwood Street. And the New Britain Rose Garden Festival also takes place on June 20th from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Rose Garden in Walnut Hill Park. There's going to be music from 2 bands, food from local restaurants, and drinks. Tickets are $7 in advance through the Parks and Rec Department at 826-3360. The Museum of American Art will host its 15th annual Juneteenth event, also on June 20th from 7 to 11 p.m. The citywide pools are going to be open for the summer on June 20th at promptly 1 p.m. Pool passes start at $30 for the entire summer. In addition to that, our summer camps are going to be beginning on June 22nd, and you can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. New Britain High School's graduation is taking place on June 23rd at Veterans Memorial Stadium beginning at 10:30 a.m. Congratulations to all of our class of 2015 graduates. So that is about all the time that we have today. I want to thank all of you for watching. I want to thank Paula and Paula again for being our guests today, and I want to direct you to the bottom of the screen to see our website, office number, and other ways to get more information regarding the show or just to talk about the issues that are affecting you. I hope to see you all next month for another edition of Around New Britain with Mayor Stewart.